Ciao, everyone. Buona domenica. Hope everyone is having a great day, no matter what day you're watching. I'm Eszter.
I'm Alfred, and happy Festa della what, Eszter?
Liberazione. Today is Liberation Day. We're going to talk all about that. Very important date here in
it sure
Sicily,
is.
in Italy. It is a public holiday today. And guess what people are doing? Barbecuing, getting together. Beautiful celebration in Rome. We're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about the provinces of Sicily. But first, and some practical trips and tricks and tips for you. But first, look what I picked up at the market today. Look at this beautiful finocchio. It's called finocchio, fennel. And you know what I love about this, Alfred, is that, a lot of people, they chop off these parts over here and also the leaves, but really these smell so good and taste delicious on salad, also on soups. How else do you like them raw? I like them raw.
I like them
sometimes.
any way that you could do them. I like them raw. I like them broiled. I like them in soups. I like them after dinner as a digestive.
Right, and obviously these leaves are used in a dish called pasta con sarde, right? Those
Yes,
are delicious.
that's correct.
I want to know if you guys like fennel and how you guys make it. And the other thing is, I think this is one of the last ones, artichokes. It's now, it's late in the season.
What did that cost
40
you? Huh?
cents.
40
cents. And usually, they come, if you've never seen an artichoke grow, they're really, really tall. And we usually take this part and also boil it, right?
Yeah, we chop it up and we boil it.
These guys are getting a little bit small now, but hey, 40 cents. So,
can't go wrong, right? Can't go wrong.
So a big day today in Italy, Festa della Liberazione, really a day that was announced that fascists and the German occupation would leave Italy, right, Alfred?
Yep, it happened in 45. Actually, the 25th is the day that is the big day. It was announced, though, a couple of days earlier. Bologna was the first town to revolt on the 21st. And then you had a couple other towns up the north. It was all primarily up in the north, and they were partisans, okay? They were primarily left communist partisans, pretty much, okay? Because the northern part has been that way from many years. And they actually fought the Nazis throughout the whole war.
Yeah.
The communists did, okay? And the 21st, as I said, Bologna fell. By the 25th, Milano fell. And 3 days later, they broadcast it on national radio. And 3 days later, they captured Mussolini.
Yeah.
And he was hanged. That's right. People are hung. Pictures of people. Anyways, he was stretched out. Him and his girlfriend. And that was the story of the liberation, okay? 1945 is when it took.
But that was really a leadway up to the Festa della Repubblica, which is on June 2nd, which happened the following year, right? June of 1946, when they did what? They get rid of the monarchy.
Wait a minute now. 46 is when they adopted the
Constitution.
Yeah, but it wasn't until I think 48 or 49, I can't exactly remember what year it was, where they made it into a law that the 25th would be a national holiday. And it is a national holiday here. Everything is not everything is closed.
Not everything.
A lot of stuff is closed. It's really a union-based type of holiday, okay? Because it started with the left. And to this day, the left wields tremendous power in Italy, okay, especially up north. The unions have tremendous. Esther asked me today, how come the unions are so strong in Italy compared to the United States? And the reason pretty much is that because unions are nationalized. So, for example, when a bus company goes on strike, all the bus companies go on strike. When the airports go on strike, they all go. Matter of fact, lawyers are even unionized, and they had a national strike a couple of years ago. So a national strike will cripple. Yeah, it cripples it. And as a result, the laws that were written between 46, 47, 48, 49, etc., in the Italian Civil Code are really decidedly left-based. Okay, I'll give you a quick example. In the Italian Civil Code, there are 1,600 pages of rights for workers. Okay, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah. So back to Liberation Day. by the way, there was a beautiful ceremony in Rome where Sergio Mattarella, who's the president of Italy, he's Sicilian, by the way, laid a wreath down in Rome in commemoration of those who died.
Yep.
And it was such a striking difference from last year when he went up there alone and it was raining.
Yeah.
And today, some members of parliament also joined them. So it's a big day. But the other thing, I listened to his speech, and you can say whatever you want about politicians; they're all the same. You're right, but he is a true diplomat. Sergio Mattarella, throughout my stay here and throughout this pandemic, has been a star. And he gave a beautiful speech asking for unity. And this is, Italy is on its knees. This is the worst economic situation since World War II. And, he was just a voice of hope, a voice of unity. So I really like him, Alfred. I mean, even when we had this change of government between Conte and Draghi, he was the one that made the peaceful handing off of power.
Well, that's what the president's job is to put
Yeah.
together a government. But let me just say to you, not everybody is all, cream and strawberries over this particular holiday. The right doesn't really celebrate it quite a bit. It's primarily a left holiday. That leads up to next week when you have May Day. May Day is another one, okay? And May Day is, of course, the takeoff of the communist one. And in Italy, that's basically like equivalent to our Labor Day in the United States of America, right? So the one thing to learn about Italy.
So what's this, 4th of July? Today's kind of like
Today is kind of like the 4th of July, or Declaration of Independence. You really, it's kind of like difficult to make a big connection. But how does that song go? What's the name of the song?
Ciao, 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 ciao. This is what's called. It's ciao, ciao,
bello,
ciao, bello, ciao, bello, ciao, 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 ciao. If Sean Lewis is on here, I don't know if he's on here. I'm going to leave you guys a link to Ciao Bella, which is a song that is sang nationally, and it's basically a patriotic song here in Italy, and it talks about being buried as a patriot in the mountains with the beautiful Italian flowers. So it's really catchy. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
It's really an excuse though today to get the grill out and to cook sausages, because everybody around me is cooking sausages today. I can smell it. There's sausages down below us.
Yeah, in case you guys hear people, it's because they're having a barbecue.
Why not?
Why not?
We're still in the red zone, Esther.
I know. So that's the other big news, right? Starting tomorrow, April 26th, most of Italy goes yellow, not Sicily. We stay orange. 5 regions are orange here in Italy. We're one of them. And listen to this. Remember Sardinia?
What are the orange ones?
Wait a sec. Yes, we are. Sicily. I'm talking about Sicily.
Okay.
But listen to this. Remember Sardinia? Everyone was talking about Sardinia being white. Guess what? They are the only region now in the red. So go figure. But also here in Sicily, we should qualify that we at Catania are in red. There are several other cities. There's 23 cities up in Palermo.
Around Palermo.
That are red.
And Catania's got a bunch too. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, here and there.
It's like crazy, these little zones that pop up.
Starting tomorrow, also, if you're in a yellow zone, guess what? For the first time in months, you can have dinner, but only with the caveat if the restaurant has outdoor seating. Let me tell you, folks, I've been following those rules, the changes, the decrees. It is hair-raising. And then you're going, what was the reason for this rule? How come they can stay open and they can't? But anyway, there's a gradual reopening starting April 26th. And I know you guys are going to ask me this. I know it. But no word yet about travel from the United States or Canada or any other.
Well, the other good news is that Pfizer, the vaccine, and Johnson & Johnson is finally hitting Sicily.
They have been here, dear.
Well, they...
We're back.
It was a lightning bolt.
All right,
that
let's
struck.
say hello to some people on our stream. Joe
Hi, Joe.
Ascioni is here. Good morning. Jim Ingram.
Hi, Jimmy boy.
Alicia, we are back.
Hi,
Sorry.
Alicia.
We have Helen here, Nancy Maranto, ciao, Christine with the olive tree. Peter Scapoletti has been super helpful for us in this period when Alfred is planting some lettuce and some celery and what else?
Lettuce, celery, basil, basilico, and tomorrow I'm going to get some tomato plants. If I possibly can. I want to do a shout out to two people today, if I possibly can.
Yeah.
I don't normally do this, but Lori Lawler's birthday is today. And also, I think it's tomorrow or the next day, Supunto from Prince Edward Island. It's her birthday as well.
April's a big month.
Yeah.
Andrew Parisi, I want to say thank you again for your generous donation to our GoFundMe. So, okay. So I want to.
Great.
Fennel's great. I want to know where you guys are watching from. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk about. Let me see. Oh, Tim is back here from London. Nice to see him.
Hi, Tim.
We've got North Carolina. Crema de Mauro.
Welcome.
We've got Jersey. All right, we've got we've got someone here from the Netherlands. And we've got Janet Lombardi. Thank you, Janet, for the super chat last week. Appreciate that. Following the adventures of Al and the elusive vaccine. All right.
Following the adventures of Alfred. Well, guess what? I'm going to my doctor this week, and I'm trying to get a letter out of him. Because if you get a letter that says you're in an at-risk category, it increases your chances of getting anything but AstraZeneca. I'm not going to get AstraZeneca. There's no way. So supplies came from, limited supplies have come from Pfizer, and I believe from Johnson & Johnson as well.
Well, they keep coming from all three.
Yeah, they're small. They're not like huge supplies where,
Yeah.
it's for everybody. But if you're at the at-risk category, then you might be able to, get a shot. So I'm going to give it a try. Why not?
We've got people from all over
Pittsfield,
here.
Mass.
All right. So here's Hazel is here too. Okay. So
Hazel, I love her.
do you now Cucuza Lunga Siciliana? Yes,
Not
we
yet.
know.
Yeah,
but no,
not-
they started to come out.
They did?
But I just saw the first one.
Kagutsa.
Kagutsa.
We like to fry them. I like to cut them up and flash fry them. Yummy, yum, yum.
Those are good. All right. The other thing, I don't know if you guys saw this or if you're new around here, we have videos from all over Sicily on our channel. And we have been doing this series called The Provinces of Sicily. And the first one we did was Catania. The second one was Siracusa. Now, a lot of people, just from the comments I saw, were confused because, so here are the provinces. There's Catania, Siracusa, Ragusa, Enna, Messina, Caltanissetta, Trapani, Palermo. What's the ninth one? What am I missing? Who am I missing?
You're the one that called them. You got to get an
Siracusa. Wait, Catania, Caltanissetta, Enna.
Can someone
Enna,
please help her out?
Messina, Caltanissetta, Palermo, and Trapani. In any case, each province, so there's 9, what's so funny? There's 9 provinces.
It's called twisting in the wind.
Agrigento. So there are 9 provinces, and each province has a city of the same name. So people often say, my family came from Catania, or my family came from Agrigento, and I often follow up with, is that in the province or is that in the city? Because in those provinces, there are cities of the same name, but there are many other towns and communities. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys about the provinces is that there's something unique in every single province and worth seeing. I can truly say that each one has a gift, each one has a particularity, each one, of course, has their specialty foods, something special about them, right?
You know what is special about Sicily? And you could write this down. I'll wait if you want to get a paper, piece pen. It's not Alfred. It's not Eszter. It's not provinces. It's not the provinces. It's Sicily.
Yeah.
Okay. Sicily is a magical, wonderful place that is really indescribable. It's very difficult to put what you experience here, even like today on a Sunday afternoon, beautiful Sunday afternoon. The barbecue is going down there. Smell of sausage is going by us. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good to be here. Looking out right now, I'm looking at you, but to my left over here, I'm looking at Catania. Not Catania, Taormina in Calabria. So
let's show
hello,
you guys.
you kidding me?
Let's show you guys. Can you hear people downstairs? They've been barbecuing since 1 o'clock. So there you go. The other thing about the provinces too that's so interesting is that, you know, the dialect is very different. The people in Palermo speak very different than the people in Catania.
They
right?
think very differently too.
They think they
people,
look very different as well.
They do. And the people down, if you go to the, if you go way down south to Pachino, they look very different too. I mean, it depends on. Sicily is an amalgam. It's like you know what it's like? It's like a salad. Okay. And originally people came from all over. Okay. Not only, you know, Sicily, but, you know, all over the place, from Europe, from Greece, you name it, Tunisia, Libya. And the different layers, so to speak, kind of got cranked together and makes what a Sicilian is. And also Romans, by the way, Spanish. But there's no such thing as just being quote unquote Sicilian. You have to kind of dive into it a little bit and say, oh, really, you know, where you're from, where your people, what's your last name? I usually can figure out by their last name,
right,
what people are, because our DNA is profoundly different from anybody north of Rome. Like these people who are celebrating the holiday today, for example, those people up there are practically German or Swiss or French. Their DNA is completely different than ours, but nonetheless, it's Italy. Okay, and Italy was united in 1860. Before that, it was a bunch of city-states, powerful city-states, Genoa, Venice, Florence, etc. And now they're struggling to come up with a national identity because it hasn't been that long. Stop and think about it. 1860. That's not that long ago.
That's a baby country.
It's a baby country. And as Cavour said, the first prime minister, he said, you know, we made Italy. Now we have to make Italians.
Now we have to understand what Italians are. Yeah.
Now we have to make Italians, and people from this area over here, Sicily, or any place you go, Calabria, you can go any place. They say, "Where are you from?" They say, "I'm from Calabria. I'm Calabrian. I'm Sicilian. I'm Roman." Very few people will say, the word Italian first.
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
But in the United States, it's from my experience that people who are Sicilian, they will say, "I'm Sicilian." They won't say, "I'm Italian."
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. Okay, so there's a lot of political reasons for that as well. So I mean, I celebrate the holiday today out of respect for. You know why I celebrate this holiday? Because of the tyranny of fascism and the tyranny of what do you call it? Who's that idiot? Mussolini guy, whatever Hitler and Mussolini. It was broken finally in 1945. A lot of people died in Italy. A lot of Italian boys died. That's what I'm more resentful for than anything else. The deaths of the young kids. A whole generation in Sicily got wiped out.
Not just that, Al, but also the Holocaust. I mean, let's really dive into that. I mean, that was, you know, one of the most horrific things in the world. And Alfred and I were talking about this earlier because I've been to Auschwitz because my father's side of the family, most of them, including my grandfather, died in the Holocaust.
And where was I? I forgot where I was.
You were in Dachau.
I was in Dachau.
So I remember going to Auschwitz, and even my aunt in Vienna for many years, you know, we used to see her, and she had numbers on her arms, the tattooed numbers that you got when you get into Auschwitz. Not that far away,
Auschwitz. 73 years ago. That's all it is.
76.
76 years ago.
76. This is the 76th. Festa di Liberazione. But the other thing,
crazy, you know, stop and think about that.
Let me just finish about Auschwitz, that I have such vivid memories going in there. And the first thing you see is Arbeit frei, you know, work will give you freedom, work to be free. And you walk in and you go into these chambers. And I cannot tell you what it felt like to see my last name multiple times, Vaida. Multiple times, knowing that my grandfather and also my uncle died in Auschwitz. So, I mean, lots of lives were lost in many aspects. So, all right. Tim says, I miss Sicily. I suppose
sometimes man is inherently an animal. I mean, if you look at history, the slaughter of the innocents, as it's called. Okay, the innocents Hitler wasn't the first. Look what happened in Cambodia with the Khmer Rouge after the Vietnam War. That's recent history. A few million were killed there. Look what happened during, what was it, First World War? Yeah. The Turks slaughtered the Armenians. I mean, it never ends. It just seems
Tim says, I miss Sicily. I'm supposed to come back next month or May for a birthday trip, but had to cancel whole trip a few days ago. Sorry about that. Let me just read a few more. Tony, when I bought my Abruzzi wife to Sicily, I told her she would find it very different, especially the cuisine. Now she never stops asking me to make caponata. That is great. The caponata is one of my favorite. Nancy DeMarco, learning Italian Sicilian history. Fred says, missing Sicily to Eszter and Alfred, keep me going with their fantastic videos. So happy.
Thank you,
Fred, again, for your generous donation to our GoFundMe. Now, I want to know for you guys.
Rose, she's a doll.
For you guys who are watching, where is your family from in Sicily?
We always say we're not Italian, we're Sicilian. Don't think you're not the only one that says that. A lot of people say that.
When in Catania, we stay at the President Park Hotel. Guess what? Quarter mile from our house.
Right down the
street.
It's right
down the hill. That's hilarious. So funny. Next time you're here, come and say hello.
It's a 2-minute walk from our house. That's actually right. That's actually, what is that? Is that that's Arci Castello? Well, we're right on the border.
We're right on the border. It's actually Arci Castello.
Arci Castello.
Ed Nietzsche said it works both ways. Also, people from northern Italy say that. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, they do as well. Of course, they do.
Carmen DeMarca is here.
Carmen
Ciao.
DeMarca.
Thank you for both spreading such great knowledge.
I'll tell you what, Carmen, I missed you. I miss you a lot. When this thing is over, you got to come over to the house. We're going to cook some pasta con nero di seppia. We haven't had that for a while.
Oh, he's been talking about that for so long. So Tre Castagni, Nancy DeMarca, that's where Alfred's family is from.
Yep.
Vizzini, Pat Greeley is from Cefalù. Hazel is from Montedoro. San Vito.
Boy, I'll tell you, we have such a wonderful, diverse group coming onto this program every week, huh?
John says in the Garibaldi Museum in Marsella, there is a letter from Lincoln inviting him to participate in the American Civil War.
Yeah, he wanted too much money, though. I think he wanted to be named commander-in-chief or something, and Lincoln got that letter, his response, and threw it back. You know, he didn't win very many battles. Garibaldi did not. If you look at his exploits in South America and some of these other places that because he hired on as like a mercenary general in a few places. You know, people got tired of the oppression in Italy. That's what the whole thing was about. They got tired of the oppression. They got tired of the monarchy. And that was the other good thing that happened today. They got rid of the monarchy.
1946. This is one for you, Al. Sicilian, I'm considering trying one of those DNA tests. I'm so fascinated by our heritage. Yes, Alfred has.
I took one. So my daughter Jen
is it worth it?
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. Let me tell you a couple of things, right? First of all, I was in the high 90s for Southern Italian Sicily. Okay, that's how they say it. But I also had like a smattering of like Greek and some other things, very small amount. But the thing is about this ancestry is that they will notify you if anybody else has.
You've had quite an experience with that.
Has the same DNA. And I started to get these responses from people, according to ancestry. People were like my quote unquote first cousins and second cousins, right? Who I had never heard of before. It was just crazy what some of my relatives must have done in the olden days.
Yeah, you learned quite a lot.
I was like flipping out.
Maria says, Italia Superiore in Messina. I will always be forever grateful for both of you for finding my grandmother's cousin and bringing me to her. That was such an interesting situation with Maria. She gave me a phone number that she got from her aunt. Correct me if I'm wrong, Maria. She was on a tour with us, and I called the woman and I said, one of your relatives is coming and she would like to come see me. So we set up a time, and you should have seen the look on Maria's and the woman's face when they first saw each other, and they hugged for like 5 minutes. There were tears everywhere. And then, you know, my Italian is not great. We had our driver was very helpful. But we sat there, they didn't speak any English, and they just went through pictures. It was such a beautiful and rewarding experience. If you're considering coming back to Sicily, I strongly, strongly urge you to look for family, because I believe, Maria, that one you will never forget.
Is a dog. Okay, I bonded with her I miss her. We always talk on Facebook. She's a doll. But Maria's story we've been very blessed to have a bunch of stories like that from people who have connected. Yeah. I don't know if Mike and Mary Miano are listening here, and also Joe Renda. But both of you people, when you came here, you took off at different times to go get reunions with your relatives in the province of Messina. There's been a lot of people.
Beautiful. Diana,
Lisa Zoba was another one, as I remember. We had lunch.
We had many. We had a few in Palermo. Sal and I are very happy with the olive tree we purchased. We are telling everyone about your YouTube show. Awesome. Thank you, Diana Fiorentina.
Wait a minute. What about give the people, tell them?
So we have, if you guys don't know, we have an olive tree memorial in Montedoro, also one in Enna and Shafala Diana. And I believe.
And how does it work?
Well, they make a donation, and part of it goes through our Sicilian project. Wait a second.
They don't make a donation.
No,
they buy a tree.
Do you want to say it?
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
So you buy a tree.
Where do you buy it?
Stop. Christine already put a link over there. You're gonna
busting her chops today.
Listen.
Did you have Saziccia today? Did you have Saziccia today?
So,
yes, you did have Saziccia today.
So you buy a tree, and we have farmers all over Sicily that will plant them for you. Take a picture of it, a baby tree. So you're setting roots here in Sicily, and we send you a certificate. Christine sends you a beautiful certificate. And when you come here, you can go visit your tree. It's beautiful. And part of that goes to our Sicilian project.
There you go. You get an
Cotoni family is from Baucino, but originally from Cimina before 1830. Okay.
Tom,
so
that's great. Jim Ingram is in the house. Our family has French, Arab, and Spanish blood.
It's very good information. Okay. Chiara says, she's our new friend. She's from Catania. I did 23andMe, and it's so interesting, totally worth it. Both my parents are from Sicily, and I got a ton of Arab. That makes sense. It seemed pretty accurate. Of course, that makes a lot of sense. Now, I want to ask you guys, I'm just going to throw this out there. So I have Siracusa and Catania for the provinces. Where should I go next? Should I go to Messina, or should I go inward in center of Sicily, Enna, or should I go down south in Ragusa? Leave me a comment. We'll take a little
Messina.
Here.
I say Messina. Messina is a target-rich environment. There's so much stuff.
Speaking of, Joe Assioni is from Milazzo.
Joe Assioni from
Milazzo. That Messina piece is going to be huge because, of course, we have Taormina, Forza Teatro, Savoca.
Where's Joe Renda from?
Excuse me. All the tourist traps. Then we have Mistretta. We have Milazzo. So Messina is going to be quite one.
Is Tindari still in? Is Tindari in Messina, province of Messina?
Yes.
Yeah, and also from the Brody Mountains.
Carmen DeMarca says, your nail looks fabulous, Al. Your hat colors are great. Peter is from...
Thank you very much, Carmen. It took me all day to color coordinate everything over here, okay? Because I take pride in the way I look.
Back to Sicily.
She picks out my stuff for me.
Eszter and Alfred from Orange, Connecticut, just finished reading all 4 of Alfred's books.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it. Great writing. We are waiting to get back to Sicily. Kids need their shots.
Wait a minute. I want to jump in here now. You're going to come back, and I think this year you're going to come back. For those of you who want to come back, it's not going to be in May or June, in my view. Okay, let this first tidal wave of vaccines get put in. Let the herd mentality take effect. But I'm thinking that we're going to be okay in the fall, late fall. Okay, we're planning on having at least 1, maybe 2 groups come here, for sure, for Christmas. We're going to have a Christmas group by that time.
We'll see. Tim
She's
says,
not there. Could you see that? We'll see. We'll see.
Well, I'm keep positive, but I'm not making any predictions.
I mean, barring another variant coming around.
Tim says, unfortunately, no Italian heritage here, but Estonian, Polish mix. Hey, Tim, I'm Hungarian. So
What difference does it make?
My
Tim, what difference does it make? It doesn't make any difference at all.
Okay, so now
Shaka. One of my favorite towns is Shaka.
John wants to know, do you have a drone? No, we do not.
A drone? No, but I drone on sometimes.
Helen says, I don't have any Sicilian relatives, but that hasn't stopped me from loving Sicily. Can't wait to get back and stay. Maybe someone should adopt me. We'll adopt you, Helen. Sicily has adopted me. I have 0 Sicilian blood, 100% Hungarian, and I call this my home.
That's right, she does.
Okay, so now you wanted to say anything else about the provinces?
How many are there, Esther?
Stop it.
There are 9 provinces. We're going to do one at a time.
Are you going to?
And then we're going to put it all together. And then we're going to go on to something, I don't know, NBC, ABC, CBS, Tucci, Rick Steves, whatever.
We'll see.
No,
we'll see.
I'm just giving you the business.
No, we
do this for you.
Yeah.
For you, okay? If there's 10,000 or 15,000 people that like our work, we're plenty happy. Okay?
Yeah.
Honestly, we're plenty happy.
Joe says, this is Michelle, my father's side. The Zarcone family is from the city of Palermo, where my mother's side, the Caltagirone family, appears to have originated in Suttera, not the town of Caltagirone. Isn't it interesting finding all this stuff out? You know, I was telling Alfred also, you know, for these shows, and we know Sicily, we know practical stuff about Sicily, but very often there are specific subjects, you know, like Liberation Day, that we sort of know some stuff on the surface, but really gives us an opportunity to dig deep, to find out some cool information to share it for you. So for us, it's also been a growing and a learning chance, right?
You know what the best part about this thing is? It's not me, it's not you. It's that these people over here tune in every week because they want to learn about Sicily. And I tell that to Esther all the time. I says, it's not about me and you. It's about them. It's what, you know, what do they want? What? It's you.
And
it's
you know, we appreciate.
Sicily needs you.
Yeah. When we appreciate your time, because we know you tune in either live with us or on the replay and watch this. So we appreciate your time.
Look at, for example, Chris Leone. I want to bring up Chris Leone, this olive tree memorial. Every single solitary day, she finds a beautiful picture on Sicily, Italy, actually, and she researches a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And she puts it up there. You ought to like her page. What is it called? Olive Tree Memorial.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on Facebook. And you'll enjoy her work. I worked with her for many years. She's a visual artist. She's a talented woman. And she and Esther are in the process right now of doing a cookbook. Mm-hmm. But really, if you cut her heart open, and she's an Irish gal, okay? She's Irish, okay? She's not a Sicilian. She's married to a guy from a Sicilian background. But if you cut her heart open, it's just as big and just as gold as Esther's, because these 2 women are 2 peas in a pod.
There's something about Sicily that gets in your bloodstream, right? It just gets in your bloodstream. All right, Alfred, we haven't talked about the important thing. What are you drinking? What's Alfred drinking today?
Today I'm drinking a vodka tonic. I'm drinking my Russian vodka, and I'm using my glass that Donna Muldoon gave me. It says Boston on it. It's one of those engraved glass, because I wanted something light and airy and take advantage of the holiday. I didn't want to drink anything heavy like whiskey or anything like that today. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Billy Dixon, my pal Billy Dixon, and my pal Gary Aravella and Johnny Sato, and all my crew, the Ganji brothers, and all my crew from Austin Prep, and also my crew from Holy Rosary School, Sacred Heart School, St. Francis College, and the Lawrence County Jail. No, the last one.
What's all this shout out? What, are they paying you money?
No, it's just that these are my old friends. You know, I miss my friends, and when I go home, I'm gonna have like a party or something.
A meet and greet. You should have a meet and greet.
I should have a meet and greet.
So you wanted to talk about your sausage? You mentioned sausage. Want to hear how I made the sausage today? So good.
Okay, how did you make the sausage
The
today?
Sausage, I roasted it with peppers, onions, and I sliced the potatoes really, really thin and put no olive oil, because the juices from the sausage went into all the other food, so it was
It was really good.
Wasn't it good?
It was really good. It was
very
layered.
good.
It was layered.
Yeah, I did the potatoes first, then the onions.
Yeah.
Your Sunday dinner here generally in all of Sicily is a very important day. Families get together, and it's, day to also in normal times be with friends. So the Sunday meal, traditionally in my family too, the Sunday meal was the big meal.
When I have sausage on Sundays, which is often over here, I think of my father, because typically in the summertime he would fire up the old barbecue and we'd have sausage I don't want to say every Sunday, but almost every Sunday. When I smell sausage and I smell coffee in the morning and sausage, and believe me, my father's memory comes back. He didn't particularly he wasn't one of those Italians that didn't eat tomatoes. If you can imagine that, my father didn't eat tomatoes.
No wonder you're not a big fan.
Right. Well, I am a big fan, but not that big of a fan. Like my father, he said, tomato. He never liked them.
Helen says, what do you call the horse meat, cavallo, in the butcher shop?
Cane cavallo.
Cane cavallo. Is it government inspected?
What government? Come on, Sicily.
No,
I'm sure they have their local health authorities going down there, but it doesn't. It's got to say USDA. No, these are all local
it's
horses
different.
that have.
And it's interesting. The horses here, they sell them in the supermarkets. They sell them as hamburgers or horse burgers. They also have them as street foods, almost like a pepper steak. How else do they have them?
They have restaurants. They have 5 or 6 specialty restaurants. Right in Catania,
but especially in Catania, you
just
drive
make
down.
Them. They make gourmet meals. They're very highly rated. I don't want to say women eat a lot of horse meat, but women eat a lot of horse meat because it is good in iron.
And
so
athletes.
women who are pregnant, athletes, women who are having a bad time of their month, so to speak. That's the cultural thing to do over here, is to have horse meat. I hate it. I don't like the taste. I don't like venison either in the States. People always try to palm on venison.
Remember, we tried it at the Festival of San Alfio a few years ago.
I get
you had
the
steak, and I had the burger, but I only had a bite.
I really
it was different. It's a festival food.
I felt like I was eating Mr. Ed for heaven's sakes. Remember Mr. Ed?
Can I give a shout out to What's Mama Cooking For Us? Sounds good.
I
love her videos. Check them out on YouTube. What's Mama Cooking For Us? She's got great recipes. Pat says, my father did not like red sauce. He never knew what he was missing.
Well, my father liked red sauce. Isn't that funny? He didn't like tomatoes, just plain round red tomatoes, which, by the way, tomorrow I'm going to get 3 of them and I'm going to try to grow them. Right now I have a little herb garden going with a bunch of stuff. I did everything wrong, but things are coming up, because in Sicily stuff can come up. Anybody can.
Did you ever try Merusa? I'm not sure.
No, I don't even know what that is, Tom. What is that?
Horse meat polpette. They are so good. I like them way better.
That's because, Chiara, you know why? Because there's other things in there. Okay, but just have a piece
parsley and salt, pepper.
They have mudiga, they have sale, they have pepper, they have cheese. Just try to put a piece of horse meat though in a piece of bread, and I didn't particularly like it. It had a funny taste to it. It was kind of tough too. I couldn't wait to get it out of my mouth. We did the video shoot that day in Castani. It was lost. I didn't like it.
Okay.
Sausage. Salsiccia sausage. I love sausage. Yeah. I fired it up so far 3 times. Was it 3 times or twice?
Twice.
Twice.
What's Mama Cooking says, sounds good. I love sausage. Makes me think of my dad as well. Yeah. Okay, Al. You wanted to
wait a minute.
Sandwich, street food in Palermo. I tried that.
I can't do it, Tom. I can't do it. That's where you have the liver, the throat, you have the testicles, the tail, Jesus, everything you could have. They boil them in oil, and then they boil them in water, and they put them in bread, and they do other stuff.
Yeah, that's big in Palermo.
Can't. I'm sorry.
What's your favorite street food?
What do you mean, my
besides arancini?
Shawarma.
Stop it.
I like
Besides
shawarma.
Arancini.
Shawarma.
Sicilian food.
Oh, Crispelli's, obviously. Crispelli's.
Okay, and second?
Arancini.
No, besides arancini.
Besides arancini, what, street food?
Yeah.
Pizza.
No, I'm talking about the festival food that you get in Palermo and Catania.
What the heck else do I get besides Crispelli's and arancino?
You got the panelle, which is the
I'm not a Pinelli
chickpea
fan.
thing.
I'm not a fan. I hate to say that, and I don't want to offend anybody from Palermo, but basically that's chickpea flour.
And
they
deep fried.
fry it, and then
Deep
they put it in bread.
Bread.
So basically, it's a carbohydrate bomb, is what it is. I'm nice, you know.
Hello.
Well, very good, very good. But I'm not
Well,
going to make a steady diet.
I mean, you do it for the camera. Let's be
for
honest.
the camera, yeah. But I don't. Have we ever had panella in the house?
No.
Have we ever had chickpea flour?
No,
in the
but
house?
we've had it when we went to Isola della Femmina.
I'll tell you what.
When we went to Isola della Femmina, you had it. Remember?
That's because I liked. What's the girl's name over there? And what's her first name?
Antonella.
Antonella. She's a dog. Let me say this though, okay? And don't interrupt me. Let me say this though, okay? Have you ever had? My grandmother used to call it miti with mudiga or carne con mudiga, meat with breadcrumbs. Let me tell you how to do it, okay? Especially in the States, it takes about 6 minutes to prepare. What you do is you get a nice piece of meat. My father would buy, say, ribeye or a good cut of meat. If you get a crummy cut of meat, tap it and break up the sinews. And that's number one. Then coat it on both sides with olive oil, okay? Olive oil and olive oil on both sides. And then sprinkle it a good portion of breadcrumbs that are salted with salt and pepper, okay? Breadcrumbs, okay? And then put it in the broiler. Now, when you put it in the broiler, you have to watch it. You can't just leave it and go play golf, okay? Because the broiler will burn the breadcrumbs. So you wash it and you flip it, and then you flip it. It's the most delicious way to have a steak. Okay?
We got to make that next time. We got to make
Esther,
that.
it's just unbelievable. And for about
Why haven't we made it
for
before?
5 years,
Why haven't you?
I forgot about it.
Well,
so about 5 years, I said, I'm gonna go buy a piece of steak, costata they call it here, and I'm gonna make meat with mudiga.
Let's make that this week.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, I made, Carmen Tamaka, you'd appreciate this, I made the pasta con mudiga and anchovies, the anchovies and the mudiga, and it was so good, I had a portion left over. Put it in the refrigerator, and she says, or I said to myself, I'll never eat that, The next morning for breakfast, guess what I had for breakfast? I never knew that pasta with mudiga is pretty good left over.
Okay,
right.
Joe says, looking forward to things opening up. Red sauce is Sicilian, white sauce is Northern Italian, true or false? Well, they have that.
The carbonara is Sicilian.
The
Everybody makes
National
that.
Carbonara Day was the other
Yeah,
day.
they make that all over the place.
But they have the red sauce up top. Alicia, thank you for that super chat. Not Sicilian, but up for adoption.
We'll adopt you. I love
for all of you guys who don't know, the super chat is a way for you to contribute and support this channel, and you just hit the little $sign down below, and you can make a donation.
Can I make a suggestion?
Thank you. 1 second. Thank you, Alicia. If you have a special question, let me know as well. Carmen says yes, and with breadcrumbs.
Right, with breadcrumbs, Carmen, for sure, absolutely. Delicious.
Buccina is famous for their sausage. I think every area has a
Zafferana della Etna has the best sausages around here. The pork is from the Nebrodi Mountains. It's pretty good.
You know what my favorite sausage is? With the fennel. Speaking of the fennel.
Yeah. Fennel's good. I like it with the cheese and the tomatoes. It's pretty good. Hey, could I butt in now?
Hold it. Ciao, Anne Marie. Buona domenica. And if you guys are just coming on the chat, buona festa di liberazione.
Yeah, today is a big day. Listen, go to Google, go to Wikipedia after the show's over, and learn about the Feast of Liberation, okay, in Italy. Liberation Day in Italy. That's what you have to go Google. And you should learn about it. I think as we bring these things up week to week, if you go to Google Wikipedia afterwards, it'll enrich your experience of listening to the stories that we're telling. Exactly. I really think that it's important.
Vincent, do you eat the typical Sicilian sausage, the very thin spiral? That's the one we regularly get.
It's much tastier than the thicker one.
Yeah.
But every once, like today we had one, I had the thicker one as a change of pace, but my go-to sausage here is the thin one. It's just chock full of flavor. You have to watch out, again, when you're cooking it. You got to keep your eyeball on it because it'll dry right out.
Yeah.
So it's a very easy thing to cook, right? She does an excellent. Esther is now a great cook. I mean, she made a pizza. I didn't want to eat the pizza Friday night. I wanted to nail it on the wall. I thought it belonged on the wall.
I'm definitely going to do a video.
And I took a photo of it. That pizza was so
Back to
good.
Sicily says, you guys are cool. I'm subscribed. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
if you guys are new
Appreciate
around here and are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you know when we go live or upload a video, which is typically weekly.
Can I give my daily tip?
One second question over here. Are the younger Sicilians more concerned with a healthy diet, such as a vegetarian? I'll answer that one.
Okay.
I'll answer that one. Most of my friends, and including the people in gym, obviously they're gym goers, so they're concerned about their diets. But teenagers, they eat, you know, the guys downstairs, how old the kids downstairs were, like between 10 and 15. I mean, they were having like 2-3 hamburgers. So I'm not sure if I understand your question, but I think it's like anywhere else in the world. There are some that are concerned, others are not.
Can I answer it now?
Yeah.
Portion control is what about.
Yeah.
Okay. Italians eat 125 grams of pasta cooked almost every day for lunch. Okay. Not 250 grams, which is a half a pound. They eat 125 grams, which is a quarter of a pound. Okay. That's what they have. And they have it almost every day for lunch. The pizza here is not smothered like it is in the United States with 58,712 thick cheeses like that. It's light, the cheese is light, and it tastes great, okay? And they have individual portion sizes. So basically a small individual portion size, we might be, maybe 3 or 4 maximum small slices of pizza that you would buy. So everything, even the meat, when you go to the restaurants, typically people are disappointed. A lot of people are disappointed because it's not like Olive Garden. Yeah. Where you get, in Olive Garden, you get the pasta coming right out of the dish. Out of your ears. You're not going to get that. But there's obesity here. There's McDonald's all over the place. There's about 5 or 6 McDonald's within 15 or 20 miles of here, and others too. Other franchises are coming in here, unfortunately. Fred says the pizza in Sicily is second to none. Here they put everything on it. He's in Scotland. Fred is watching. When things open up, let's get together. You choose the menu. Sounds good, Joseph. Okay, last question, and then you can go. All right. Have you ever been to Bisaquino? No. Susan, I haven't been there. Sue Willard, I haven't been there. Now, he's right. The Mediterranean diet is the healthiest, but as Al says, portion control. It's all about portion control, Carmen. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's my weekly tip. Okay. I'm going to start giving 1 tip a week. This is for people who. Is this life tip or health tip or? This is a traveling trip. If you're coming any place in Europe, invest $20. One of these. This is a universal adapter. Okay. Universal adapter. You know who sells them? You can buy them online. They're called universal adapter. They have the 2 holes over here that fits Italian things. You can buy them at AAA. About $20 or online. I think that if you come here without 1 or 2 of these in your luggage, you're making a big mistake. Now, some things you don't even, like your cell phone, for example. Your cell phone, you can plug it into here. You can plug it into here, no problem. But your cell phone and computer, they're wired nowadays so that they can read 110 or 220. So if you just get a simple, cheap adapter, they'll work. But forget about electric appliances, especially for women hair dryers. Forget it. Those things will fry up on you in 1 second. Although most hotels have it, anyway. But you ought to have a travel adapter. And the other thing that you ought to have, tip number 2, is security. All right. Security means watch your credit cards and your cashola when you're in the plane, and especially when you're in the airport. Well, that's common sense. You know the thing around your neck that you put around your neck? AAA has those too. And you put it under your shirt, and you're not going to get it that way. If you have it. So I think an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure when it comes to. Yeah, well, we actually did a number of travel tip videos on this channel. All of them are under You, Me, and Sicily, so check them out. Now, the one thing that I will say to all new travels is expect the unexpected here in Sicily. Expect the unexpected, because this country is like no other. And when I say country, I mean Sicily, like no other. It's the weather too. It's been unseasonably cold this winter. I mean, here it is. We're talking about travel tips, though, right? Yeah.
I'm saying expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Let me just see here.
Edna, unexpected.
I bought a hairdryer in Sicily and left it at the house
There
we
you
rented.
go. Good. There you go. They're like €15 at the Marchetto.
Get the adapter, saved my hair many times.
There you go, Pat. And they last forever too. They don't go. Yeah.
One more from Roseanne. Palermo street food is the best in the world. Arancini, panelle, potato croquettes. That's right. Pane con musa. Yeah, that was the spleen.
You know, they say in Latin. I'll teach you some Latin, Roseanne. De gustibus non est disputandum. Okay, that means Cicero said that. That means concerning taste, there can be no quarrel. So folks from Palermo like a certain dietary cuisine, and they go crazy about it, and they pass it on to their descendants in the States, especially New York, New Jersey, etc. And other people from Catania or from Agrigento or from Sciacca, they have a different cuisine that may not appeal to you or may not appeal to me. Remember, de gustibus non est disputandum. Concerning taste, there can be no quarrel.
That's awesome, Al.
Well, thank you.
You know, I learn something from you every day. It's just incredible. Yeah. So do you guys want us to do another travel tips? Maybe we should do that every week. You know what I want to do? Let me just answer this question. Is it better to rent a house or stay in a hotel when I come to visit? Well, it depends how long you're coming. That's very important. That was one thing. What would you say? I think if you go to a hotel, you've got all the services. You're on vacation. If you're coming here on vacation, you don't want to be bothered.
Who are you going to complain to?
Wait a second. Exactly. You don't want to be bothered with everyday stuff, right? So at a hotel, you can have breakfast. That's my suggestion. I say go to a hotel, maximize your time here in Sicily, and don't sweat the small stuff that you would if you rent a house.
To quote my son-in-law, JR, he says, if you want to have a good time, you have to spend money. If you want to have a real good time, you have to spend a lot of money. So most of the time, this is a once or a twice in a lifetime holiday coming to Sicily, okay? Hotels are like $100 to $150 a day. They're not like, unless you go to the Hassel in Rome or, one of the big expensive joints, $150 a day, you're righteous. You know what you can get for $150 a day in the States? You can get the one that keeps the light on. Highway 66 or Motel 6. You can get them
even cheaper than
that. You can get bed bugs in the States. Here, the places are clean. There aren't any I don't think I've ever heard of a single person, have you, uttering the word bed bugs. I've heard them utter the word mosquitoes, but not bed bugs. How about you?
Well, it's also other stuff. You have the hotel stuff. And I don't know, Marianne, is this your first time here? Have you been here before? Leave me a comment on the chat. Because if you're here for the first time, you want to have the folks at the hotel, the staff, answer your questions, right? Where should I go to eat? What's the best way to go here? Should I take the highway? Should I take the road? Those are all things that they're very, very helpful with. We work with hotels all over the island because usually we do tours. In normal times, we have tours all over Sicily.
Yeah.
And even for us, the hotel staff is incredibly helpful for our clients. So they're not always calling me, asking us or Alfred about stuff. There's a staff there. A lot of these places also have pools. They have great breakfast. That would be my biggest suggestion.
If you ever need it, God forbid, you need a hospital and ambulance, that's happened to us about 5 or 10 times over the course of at least my career, where people had to be rushed to the hospital for one reason or another, or needed to have a doctor, okay? So if you're renting a house someplace in East Overshoe, and you don't even know where the hospital is, you wouldn't even know how to call up a doctor, for example, that's what a good hotel does, okay? If God forbid there's a also, God forbid, if there's a problem with your airline tickets, if there's God forbid, a problem with your passports, or
they can help you out.
They can help you and assist you. Not that I have nothing to do with the hotels, other than some of them are my friends. But for me, when we go to Rome, I don't rent a house. I don't rent a B&B. I've never rented a B&B. Give me a hotel.
Let me address this. Chiara, I absolutely agree. B&B are pretty nice too, especially if you want to meet more locals.
That's one
thing that I always tell people, that of the experience of coming here in Sicily, besides the food and the beautiful sights, meeting the people is a big thing. And that's why I encourage people to go to the markets near their hotels, Get out there, talk to people, meet the locals. It'll make your experience much more enhanced.
I think the most important thing you as a traveler can do here for myself is before you get here, and you know where you're going, spend a few hours researching the town or destination that you're going to go. So when you're actually looking at a bunch of rocks, for example, you're going to know what those rocks stand for and the history behind them. Because let's face it, the Roman Colosseum or whatever the heck it's called in either Taormina or Siracusa, those things are millennia old, okay? They have some serious history behind them. And a tour guide who is going to zip you through in 20 minutes or an hour, you're not even scratching the surface. I have to be honest with you. The same thing with Taormina, for example. Just to give you a quick example, Taormina or Cefalù, you could spend, and I have spent, 2 weeks there. Okay?
Yeah, it's good to go to
exploring, learning. Cefalù's the same way. Shaka, Palermo.
Carmen says, but is it worth renting a villa or apartment for 3 weeks if your family is coming?
You know, Carmen, we have many friends that rent out villas. Typically, it's about $1,500 a week. Okay, so let's say 3 weeks. That'll be $4,500. Now, how many people are going to be with you? If there could be 7 people, so you take 7 or 8 people, divide that by 40.
So is it better?
It depends on what they get to do. A lot of people get the villas and they don't want to go out to dinner. So they're saving all this money cooking. They have to have a good kitchen. Look at Paula. In Castellamare. She has a beautiful place, but typically high season is they're $1,500 a week. They're $1,500 a week.
Leonard, Taormina is Sicily is not yet open. Neither is Italy.
No, not yet.
Thomas says that they stayed at family's B&B in Trabia, home cooked meals. Trabia, and that's a great way also for meeting people. Getting a chef in there.
Look at
some villas have a chef. Yeah.
Look at our pal. What the heck is his name? The kid from. Anyways, one of my friends comes here every year. I'll think of his name after the show. But he rents B&Bs all the time. He found the beautiful B&B in Archie Costello. He swears by that place. Oh, I'm not staying in a hotel anymore, he said to me many times. It's much cheaper. She cooks for us. She cooks breakfast, and the breakfast is out of the world. I mean, he was going out of his.
Maria says, meeting and talking with Sicilian people certainly was enriching on my trip. That is wonderful.
And socializing with them, too.
Jim says, Esther, absolutely right. First-time hotels with them, B&B, agriturismo.
Agriturismo is
and Tony says, right now, I miss Sicily so much. I'd be happy just pitching a tent. I know, Tony. Okay, so.
Wait a minute. We miss America.
Yeah.
Okay? I would do anything to grab my kids and give them a big hug. It's been a year and a half for me and a year and a half for her seeing her mom because of this freaking COVID, okay? Yes, it's great. Yes, this is our home, but we have blood in the United States of America, and we miss them, and we're dying to get home. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah. But on that note, we feel very honored that you come here and watch our show, and we are honored and privileged, really, to share Sicily with you guys. So on that note, buona domenica. Hope you guys have a great week. Midweek, we'll have another program.
We're going to have something up on Wednesday.
It's gonna
Every Wednesday now, we're going to put something up. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but we have a lot of stuff.
Good.
Yeah, we have a lot of
stuff.
So
thank you. Grazie mille and buona festa, everyone.
Look at this one. She's just unbelievable. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Ciao.